Greetings, duelist, and welcome to Bad Yugiohs. It's not that we suck, it's just that we're not that good. Today I'm going to be profiling my Bujin Deck. I actually just got first place at my locals tonight, so I'm really stoked about that. So let's get right into it. Alright, so first off, you're going to have 3 Yugiohs. Self-explanatory, you need it, it's your searcher, it's your main Bujin. Second, 1 Mikazuchi. Now, I was on the ropes about this, cut it down to 1, reminiscent of the Bujin Top 16 player from Nats. It's been working out for me. I pretty much didn't need it as much as I thought I needed it at 2. So it was a nice change of pace. And threw in the 1 Arasuda. Used to run this guy at 2, then at 1, and then at 0, but now I'm running it back at 1 because running it with the 2 Harumes is really easy to hit the kill switch in this deck and actually push for a game most of the time. So that's all for the Bujin monsters, or the Bujin Beast Warriors, I should say. Next we have the Beast support, which is 2 hairs, self-explanatory. 3's too many, 1's not enough. Same to go with the turtles, which I am very sad to say that they errated turtle. You'll actually see the new text in Astral Pack 5, I believe, when it comes to release its super. They've changed this card to where you can no longer use this card in the damage step.
So in other words, you have to think before you swing like an adult.
Yes. There was actually during my Lightsworn matchup, he bluffed a lot of his face downs to where I thought I was going to be swinging into a Raikou, so I would preemptively use my hair because I knew I couldn't use turtle. And it just turned out to be a Necro Gardener, which I was really salty about. But anyway, knowing that the erratas exist, this deck still got first, even with the non-damage step turtles. So it's still a really good deck, very relevant. Next we have the 1 Quillin. Pops face ups, get rid of those Colossal Fighters and any other problems I might have. 1 Sinew, the other sword face. They look good together. That's one reason I'm running it. The other reason is I had to run the Sinew because I'm only running 2 cranes. Now, the reason behind this is there have been many times where I've drawn maybe 2 cranes and a bunch of irrelevant stuff to where I was forced to summon the crane. And that's because I was running 3. So, if you have the chance to summon a Sinew over a crane, you would always opt to summon the Sinew because at least Sinew does something when he's in the grave. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, that's what I'm doing on that lineup, and the lastly is the 1 Honest.
It's not gold, though.
It doesn't need to be gold.
It's not gold, though.
It's not ghost, is what you should be saying. So
it's not gold, though.
So 1 Honest, you know what it does. That rounds it up at 16 monsters. Next we have the spells. 3 Fire Formation Tenkies. Duh. Why wouldn't you? 3 Bujin Carnations. This card's... I've been, around the world twice with this card. I ran it at 0, then at 1, then at 2, then at 3. The more and more Bujin support cards released, like the monsters, Harume, and Mikazuchi. So 3 is finally the optimal number for Bujins to run this, because you have a lot of people that are side decking cards that banish for you, like Fate or Debunk and DD Crow. So they're just making this card live. There's no reason not to run this card at 3. 2 Pot of Dualities, because I have to. It helps with the Game 1 bricks, but I always sided out Games 2 and 3. That's just my player preference.
Ho, burn Star Strike. We love you, boo. We love you.
Double MST. 3's not as needed, I think. It might be more relevant when pendulums start to take off more, because those are continuous spells and you need to pop them when they activate before they initiate the pendulum summon. But, yeah, 2 for right now is fine for me.
Or just vanities.
Or just vanities, yeah. 1 Lance. I definitely need to cut this up to 2, but 1 actually worked out for me right now.
How about you cut it up to gold?
I do have the golds. I have them, I just haven't swapped out the rarities
I'm just saying, we're doing the deck profile. This is one that's hitting the internet, sir. That's all I'm saying.
But I did hit the Lance each game during my matches today against Spellbooks, and it actually, it did what it needed to do at 1. And 1 Book of Moon. And that, because it's Book of Moon. Yeah, that rounds up the spells. And lastly, we go to the trap lineup. Now, this is where I somewhat differ from the top 16 Bujin profile or Bujin player, because he main deck Kaisers, and I did use to main deck Kaisers for ARG Richmond and Nats and all those major events. The only reason I did Kaisers is because I hated the Gear Gear matchup, and now that Gear Gears got hit their Gear Gear got hit, I don't have to worry about Gear Gear as much. So, I kind of just cut out that bad card in general, because having Kaiser just forces you to play stupid. So just stop playing Kaiser. Traps. Double Fiendish. Not 3. 2 is good enough. Never really needed 3. Sometimes it's going to clog up your back row with the continuous tankies, so, Another continuous card. Vanities. Main deck 2. It's another reason why you don't need to run Kaiser, because you have Vanities. So if you have Kaiser and Vanities, they just MC the Kaiser, they just get rid of both. Now you're just stuck there looking stupid. So, double Blackhorns. This was a really good card come 3 weeks ago, but now that overlays aren't as played. Basically, there are a lot more special summon monsters that don't have to be XCs to mess up your plays. So this will probably be a Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare, because they essentially do almost the same thing, especially when you're comparing it up to against Lightsworns. So if they special summon JD, even if they don't nuke, you wait for that mandatory end phase, you can still Trap Trick Trap Hole Nightmare that some bastard. Double Depriz. I love this card. It helps get rid of those retarded dragon rulers, because you wait for them to swing with a dragon if you know they're playing him, and then you never have to worry about them ever again. 1 Mirror Force, because a lot of people still don't see this coming. They always assume that it's going to be a Depriz and not a Mirror Force, so they'll still have monsters on their field in attack mode, because hand is being played a lot, and the only card that you play against hand is Depriz, not really Mirror Force. So I still play the 1 Mirror Force. 1 Warning, 1 Torrential, 1 Bottomless. I chose not to run Compulse, and I chose to run Torrential over Compulse, because I took into account what cards are being played the most, which is, inherently Soul Charge, because, Soul Charge is one of those really, really good cards. It just opens up plays, and Torrential will just solve that problem for you. They pay the life to get them back, the Torrential, and then just lose that advantage.
Unless they bring back a Stardust.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I know that's the only time he's ever going to hit the field, but yeah. Yeah, true. But that's when you just pretend that this is a trap hole nightmare, so you don't have to worry about it.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, so that's the entire main deck. It's 40. 12 traps, 16 monsters, and you can do the math for the spells.
Yeah, come on, you're 8 minutes in. Let's go.
Alright, extra deck. Cloudy and Smokeball, activate. Felgrand, because you can run this in Bujins now. Didn't know that. Yugiohs, because it's cheaper than Dragossack, and it kind of looks better. It's bigger than Dragossack, so you can actually negate Dragossack's effect, and it's just like a really good, FU to Madoche's. 1 Kagasuchi, still a boss monster in my opinion. 3 Bujin Susan, or Bujin Te Susanovos. Because you run 3 Carnations, the most optimal play is to Carnation into a Susan. That's the most common and looked for play. 1 Constellar Omega, 1 Tiger King, 1 number 50, Black Shepherd Corn. This probably should be a 101, but I'm broke. Starliege, Polydynamo. This helps with the kill switch that I mentioned earlier, because you can have a Susan on board with a Crane in hand, make this guy real quick with Harume or Asuda, make their monster 0, and just swing and do a nice 4,800 damage to their face. 1 Diamond Dara Wolf, 1 Heartland Draco, because you do run tankies, and I actually made this against my Lightsworn matchup in time for game. So, it's just like a nice 2,000 Cowboy to run on top of the actual Cowboy. 1 Crazy Box, because, Skill Drain still exists, and, 3,000 Beat Stick's never really bad. And 1 Ragna Zero, which is monstrous in the mirror match.
swag.
Yep. And onto the side deck. One full house. Because I don't side the third MST, I prefer full house because it's more reactive. I don't like that proactive stuff. I like to be reactive.
That's a great motto for life.
Double goes in. I've never sided this card in yet, but I think I will need to in the future. But I don't know. I could be just bad. You don't have to listen to me. XYZ Universe. Side this card in against Yugiohs and Mendoches. This is how the Felgran and Giles play are possible because you can just take their overlays, send them, and special summon, and this forces Yugioh and S to miss timing. Double debunk, because it's debunk, it's great right now. Double nobleman of crossout, because I still have a deep-seated passionate hate for Yugiohs. And I actually sided one of these in against Spellbooks and actually won me the game. Didn't hit the blue boy, which was what I was hoping to hit, but it still proved itself worthy. Double DD Crow, because you need to make that Equals Riven miss timing. Yay. Well, not miss timing, but just miss its effect activation time. Double Maxi, because Bujins don't really have a kind of draw power engine, so they do have a really good search engine, but this helps against those swarm decks like Mermails or anything like that. Helps you get that advantage. One wiretap. I know it's good. I probably should main deck this card, but I'm still on the fence about it. It's never really been useful, in my opinion. And one Dark Hole. Because going second, is still kind of shitty, but Dark Hole their field. And that's it for the Bujins. Thank you guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you tested the build, see if you like it. And if you don't like it, I personally don't give a shit.
Power to the misplay.
Power to the misplay, buddy.